I'm Niraj De Mel, Chairman, Sri Lanka Tea Board. I think all in all, the supply situation or the tea production has shown a marginal improvement on the dismal performance of last year. For example, the first 7 months of this year have recorded a 2.6 million kilo increase compared to the same 7 months last year. We are looking for similar improvements, though not mega. It will be the 1 to 2 million increases month on month for the remainder, and end the year hopefully around 265. Unfortunately, the month of August, with the weather, as you know, was so adverse for any type of vegetation, affected tea as well, and there will be a massive drop in production compared to June and July. But we still believe that August last year being a low figure of 18 million, we should marginally go ahead of that and thereby maintaining the momentum of pluses month on month to the end. So therefore, 265 I think is an achievable production for this year, yet way behind what we have done in the past. Not even a 300 which we have been notching in the recent 5 7 years. Price wise, definitely the buying activity actually increases in the second half of a year, particularly from August onwards, as most importing countries prepare for winter. They bring import a lot more tea to get through their winters, cold winters, and therefore we believe activities from the Middle East, activity from Russia, and other destinations to which Ceylon tea is exported will be much more than what we saw in the, particularly in the second quarter, which was very poor for Sri Lanka. Well, technological advancement is something that we really have to go in. We have to actually increase the speed at which we convert from what we are doing right now, and grab hold of all the technological advancements that we see that are available for agriculture and particularly for tea. We need to get hold of those and deploy them in our estates, in our even in our marketing area, the exporter packaging and things like that, and it must come at a cost-effective price. So right now, with the foreign exchange, the Sri Lankan rupee US dollar rate being as high as that, it's a little prohibitive right now. But I think all in all, it'll adjust itself as we go along. So talking of a decade, the next decade, you're talking of going on till about 2033. It's a little early in the day to tell you how we will get into a work plan like that, but we certainly have to first have these technological improvements brought in to our fields, to our factories, and even in the marketing arrangements, so that then we can plot out something that is that will help benefit additional income coming into the kitty through the tea marketing. Right now, it's not enough to do mega changes or embrace mega technological developments, because as I said, currently we are caught up in this demand and supply equation. So when the product supply is high, demand can go around also. Therefore, your prices are not that very remunerative. You don't have much of a markup, and as a result of that, we have to be price takers. We need to get on top of this price taker scenario and get into a quality driven product and then go forward. So towards quality driven, it has to come from the producers themselves as to how we go back to what Sri Lanka was, or Ceylon tea was known for or famous for, and go on the pathway of driving quality more than price. Well, before we collaborate to shape the way forward for Sri Lanka's tea industry, there's a lot of in-house improvements that has to be in place, which has to be handled by each stakeholder group. For example, the the smallholder, as well as those who work in the tea corporate tea plantations coming under the regional plantation companies, have got to have the understanding of what the front end needs, and based on that, ensure that your raw material is really up to the mark in terms of earning a higher price in the export transactions. Then when you come to the factories, there is fair amount of adjustments that may have to be done. I'm not saying all the tea factories, but there's a quite number of factories that will need to spruce up or upgrade themselves, even going for deploying the latest technology that's available in the world, and bring in cost efficiencies. Coming into the tea auction per se, where about 95% or 97% of Sri Lanka's tea production is sold, or where the producers produce is exchanged for cash. That in itself went through a fantastic improvement, which has been something that was on the table, deliberated for the last 20 odd years. And thanks to COVID, we shifted from a 130 odd year old outcry system of tea auctioning to an electronic platform, which has speeded up a lot of things, brought in a lot of efficiencies, saving costs and things like that. And that is actually a great achievement in the tea industry, and all those who are responsible, led by the Colombo Tea Traders Association, deserves kudos from the Sri Lanka Tea Board and the entire Sri Lankan tea industry. But coming into the exporter side, the front end, now that is where we are involved in, because of the diversity of Ceylon tea. There's a lot of diversity in the way we market our teas. There is trading that happens where our exporters would supply the requirements to the leading global tea packers, as well as there are branded exporters, Sri Lankan owned brands, some of which are very world famous. They do their marketing of Ceylon tea in a very incredible manner. Now this is an area that we need to expand. I'm not saying that we should have n number of brands, a certain manageable number of brands, because whatever said and done, Sri Lankan tea production, even if it goes to the high that we achieved in 2013, it's still limited in a global cake. So what can go around would be limited, and therefore that's one of the reasons, in fact, why Ceylon tea prices have been the highest at auction level for well over 2 decades. So until those individual stakeholder improvements, upgrading is done, spelling out at this point in time a way forward is a little bit difficult. However, I must tell you that Colombo Tea Traders Association has launched this initiative 4 years ago called the Ceylon Tea Roadmap 2030, and Sri Lanka Tea Board its own initiatives like the upgrading of the raw material. We call it the B60 program with the assistance of the Tea Smallholder Development Authority, all complementing each other. We are working towards increasing our production. That is number one if you want to be a relevant global player, and also increasing the income earned by the smallholders as well as the tea workers in the corporate sector tea estates. So those are two goals that we are working towards, and all in all, to ensure that Sri Lankan tea industry will be able to sustain another 150 odd years and more.